ficar, tu vai se lembrar de que eu era um bosta e tu não queria me pegar. O mundo vai girar e ela vai voltar. Lembra daquela garota, agora ela quer me dar. Hoje a vida mudou e hoje eu não quero mais pegar você. Sabe por quê? Porque sua mãe eu vou pegar e laraiaraia. Sua prima eu vou pegar e laraiaraia. Sua tia eu vou pegar e larararara. Sua chefe eu vou pegar e larararara. Mulher gostosa não é que tem tetão, não é que tem bundão, é que faz gostoso na giromba, ladrão. E além de tudo é bem melhor que você. Tá dando de, tipo, pilha duração 8 vezes mais. Que ela é melhor sentando, é melhor quicando, é melhor que tu, balançando o bumbum. Ela é melhor sentando, é melhor quicando, é melhor que tu, balançando o bumbum. Vai! É melhor sentando, é melhor quicando, é melhor que tu, balançando o bumbum. Ela é melhor sentando, é melhor quicando, é melhor que tu, balançando o bumbum. Sabe que eu vou pegar e laraiaraia. Sua prima eu vou pegar e laraiaraia. Sua tia eu vou pegar e larararara. Sua chefe eu vou pegar e larararara. DJ solta o beat, concorrência da Chilique. E pra variar é WM lá lançando mais um hit. É que nós é pica e o resto? O resto é buraco, ladrão. Vai pra atmosfera, truta.
How are
Hello,
you, man?
I'm glad to see you. Thank you so
Same
much.
here, man.
I'm so glad to see you. It's so nice that you agreed to give an interview to my YouTube channel. Let's enjoy this interview. It's a really good
It's
time today
it's a
with you.
pleasure, my man.
Let me introduce you to our audience. And now, special guest. You are very, very special guest on my YouTube channel because you world champion, WBF,
Yeah,
WBF world champion.
yeah, like heavy.
And Jason, first of all, thank you for taking the time for this interview. Fans around the world are watching your journey with huge respect and excitement. I respect you. Becoming a world champion is something
Thank you,
millions
man.
dream
Thank
about,
you.
but only a few achieve. Your story is
Yeah,
truly inspiring. And first
thank you.
question: how does it feel to officially call yourself a world boxing champion?
Uh it's a good feeling, you know. It's exciting to see the hard work's paying off. It's great. It's a good feeling.
Your boxing journey didn't happen overnight. Every champion has difficult moments, painful
Yes, sir.
lessons, and sacrifices behind the scenes. People see the bells and victories, but they don't always see the hard road it takes to get there. What was the hardest part of your journey before becoming world champion?
The hardest part of my journey was, not getting support. A lot of people get the support from friends and family. I didn't have anyone to motivate me. It was just myself and myself alone. So I think that was the hardest part of my journey till this day. Yeah.
Jason, when you first started boxing, did you believe you could become a world champion one day?
Uh, so maybe not the world champion, but when I started boxing, I definitely thought about it a lot, and I knew what I was getting myself into. And I'm not a half person. When I want to commit to something, I do it 100%, and I wanted to go as far as I can because I understand there's thousands and thousands of people in the sport. As a professional in your weight, there's thousands of people, and they could only be three or four champions. So I know it will take a lot to be part of the three in the thousands of people. So I know it would maybe not world champion, but I knew that the decision I was making was going to take me far.
Your record and performances show that you are a dangerous fighter with knockout power and strong mentality. Every victory builds confidence and experience, but usually one fight changes everything in a boxer's career. Which fight changed your life the most?
Which fight? Which fight? I think it was my fourth fight number four, because I was fighting a guy who had a lot of experience. I think he had 18 fights. I had three fights, and he was a former champion and a former, I think, world title contender or something. And there was a lot of pressure, and even the guys from my team that knew him, they were telling me that it's going to be probably the wrong fight for me to take, but I was the only one who believed that it was going to happen. And for me, that was defining for me. And when I went there, I won in the first minute of round one, and I was very confident after that. I think that was a life-changing fight for me.
By the way, Jason, your professional debut didn't go the way many people expected. A lot of fighters
Yes.
mentally break after losing their very first professional fight. But sometimes defeats create stronger champions than victories ever could. Looking at your
Yes.
career now, that moment clearly become motivation instead of distraction. What did you learn from losing your professional debut?
Yeah, so my professional debut didn't go well, but I learned that if I put more effort and more time and train, I would do very well, because the fight was very short notice. It was 8 days, and I had to lose about 9 kilos, and I was working. So I was training two times a week. I was not training much. So after losing that fight, I knew that I had to make sacrifices. I had to leave my job and, get out of my comfort zone and commit to boxing. And I believe that if I put 10 times more effort than that, I would do well. And the guy was a very good fighter, and we went 6 rounds. And I knew if I had a good camp, I would give him a tough time. So that just motivated me to train even harder and leave everything else and just focus.
Did that first loss make you mentally stronger as a fighter?
Yes, it did. It did. It showed me that, okay, I've lost. I have nothing else to lose now. So I will just go for it, and I'll go for everything.
Then, first win versus Keegan Mills. After suffering a loss in your debut, getting your
Yeah.
first professional victory must have felt special. Winning after disappointment often gives fighters confidence and belief again. That first victory can completely change momentum.
Yeah,
How important was your first professional victory for your confidence?
yeah, it was a confident booster for sure because a lot of people just thought like, "Ah, who is this guy?" And I knew I had something to show and that the first loss was a mistake. So I made up not just with my second fight. I went to win fight after my loss because I knew that I was different. I was not what people thought I was. So I had to prove it mentally. I was just in the zone and I knew I was on a mission. I'm still on a mission even now to continuously show people that I'm different.
Did you feel pressure before that fight because you needed your first win?
Yeah, the pressure was there, I won't lie, the pressure was there. The guy was, I think he had a few fights. So I had a little bit of pressure and the guy was big. I didn't know that the boxing size didn't matter. So when I faced him on way in, I was like, "Whoa, this guy is big," and I had a little bit of pressure. And again, the family also looking at you like, you're not gonna do anything, and then all that pressure to prove people that I have a chance. And after that, when I was in the ring, there wasn't much pressure because I was very comfortable inside.
Second fight versus Keegan Mills. Facing the same opponent again is always interesting in boxing.
Yeah.
It gives fighters a chance to prove improvement and make adjustment. Rematches often reveal a boxer's intelligence and adaptability. What adjustments did you make in the rematch against Keegan Mills?
Yeah, in the rematch, I was even more confident. And because the place where we fought also is like one of the biggest places in South Africa, Golden Gloves, it was an opportunity for me to showcase, you know, my skills and my talent and all the sacrifices that I made. So I was more confident, and that's why I won even clearer. Like, I don't think he won even 10 seconds of each round. I just collected everything because I was more confident. I trained even harder than the first fight, and he was coming to knock me out. I could see that this guy was coming to take me out because he lost the first fight. So I was just playing and I was confident. I was not too excited when I won because I believe that I beat him the first time and I can beat him 10 times more. So it wasn't too exciting for me. It was just like, okay, I won. I told you it was not a mistake, so I'll beat you again. Yeah.
Did that rematch victory prove something important to yourself?
Yeah, it did. It showed me that a confident fighter, and if you train very well in camp, you will go in the ring and you will win. You will go in, you will win. If you make the right decisions in camp, you are definitely going to win. And if it's for you, it's for you. Nothing is going to take that from you. So that's always my mentality. I just have to work hard and believe that this is for me. If it's otherwise, then okay, it was not for me. But I always walk in there believing that this is for me, this is what I need to do. And that's what the second victory gave me, that okay, the first fight we trained 4 weeks, the second one was 6 weeks. So the more you train, the harder you train, the easier the fight is going to be.
Your fight versus Jonathan Sam was amazing. At this point in your career,
Yeah.
you were beginning to build momentum. Fighters start gaining confidence once victories become consistent. Every fight becomes part of building a future champion. Did you start believing in your championship potential around this time?
Yes, I did. I was confident, and I also knew Sam because we came from the same amateur team together. We were together in amateurs, and he just had a lot of power, and he could knock guys. He had, I think, 100 more fights than me in amateurs. So when we met in the professionals, I knew his weak points because we trained together for 2 years, and he was also professional. I think he also had 3 fights as a professional. So I could see he didn't really change from amateur to professional. So he was the same guy. And I knew it would be more difficult because of the weight cut. He's a big guy. He works, he's a father. So I knew I had an advantage because he would struggle to make weight, which he did. I think he was like 84 kilos. So I knew he was going to struggle to make weight because he's got a job to go to every day. He's a family man. And I had nothing. I just had to go to the gym and train. I knew that's where I would beat him. I was very confident. I had no doubt that I was going to beat him.
Winning on points often requires patience, ring IQ, and discipline. You are very smart boxer, very clever, and very technical. What did that fight teach you technically?
Yeah, technically, it just showed me patience. You just have to be patient, and when the right time presents itself, you will see, you will know. And I think I switched on a bit late that fight. That's why I couldn't get the stoppage. But I broke the guy's nose and I broke his ribs. He was very hurt. So I just knew not to waste opportunities. And that fight showed me how to read body language. So when an opponent is hurt or when he's tired, I could see it faster after that fight. And that's how I started getting my knockouts after that fight.
Zibani Chikanda. Every boxer remembers the pressure before entering the ring for another important step in their career. By this
Yeah.
point, your confidence was clearly growing. Did you feel yourself becoming more comfortable as a professional boxer by then?
Yeah, I was confident, but that fight was a bit scary because the guy was coming from amateurs to professional. And the guys from Botswana, the reputation that we knew in the amateurs is that they're very good. And the guy I was looking up and I was looking at his stuff. He was like best amateur boxer 2018 and 19. So I knew he was good, but he had just transitioned to professional. So it was a little bit of a concern for me. And also he was a replacement fight. He's not the initial guy that I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to fight Jackson Masamba first, and then I think he injured his wrist, so they got me a replacement the week before, and I was doubtful because those are the fights that becomes very hard in the ring because you don't know this guy, you don't know where to watch him, you don't know what he's going to do, or your game plan, you don't know. So that's why I got a stoppage, I think, in round 6 because I didn't know. It took me a little bit of time and I was inexperienced. So it would have been different now because now it's like it's easier to read and download and respond. But back then you don't know how to handle such pressure. Yeah, but it was a good experience.
Yes, absolutely. Good experience. Your fight versus Zibani Chikanda ended by stoppage, showing
Yeah.
your aggressive mentality and killer instinct inside the ring. When did you realize you had real knockout power?
I think against Jackson. So after the Chikanda fight, it was Jackson, and then I was sparring. Because of the pressure outside the ring, people talking, I needed to do something different. I didn't want to just go and win. I wanted to go and stop him. He was the first fighter that I told myself, I have to stop this guy. It's the only way I can prove to people that I'm different. I need to stop him. And there was a lot of criticism from, he beat a debutant. This guy was making his debut. And there's so from fighting a guy with 0 fights to a guy with 17, 18 fights, it was a big jump. And I knew this is the big fight and I have to stop him. And the whole the camp, my sparring, I was just being aggressive and I was hitting hard and I was dropping big guys and stopping guys. And that's how I knew, okay, I do carry power and I have something that I need for this fight.
By the way, did you notice people taking you more seriously after this fight versus Jackson Masamba?
Yeah, or definitely people started looking at me differently after that fight. It was more like, who's this guy? Because the guy was never stopped before. He fought power punches. He's fought exhibition fight against Russians and what. He was never stopped. So it was like, this boy with 3 fights, 4 fights, he stopped Jackson. Who is he? So there was a lot of people in my face like, what's happening? Who are you? Where do you fight from? And then fights started coming from there. So definitely gave me recognition. People wanted to know more about me, and yeah.
First round stoppage always sends a strong message in boxing. This is very, very strong message. It shows
Yeah.
explosiveness, preparation, and confidence. What goes through your mind before going for a knockout finish?
It's just you first need to point the mistakes. I first had to point out the mistakes. I think it was 46 seconds. The fight was done because he came flying and he just wanted to take me out, and I could see the mistakes. He was very wide and he was just loading all his punches and he was very slow. So when I saw that, I didn't want to waste time and I just took it. I was like, okay, the right moment is now. You wanted a knockout, go for it. I was fit enough to know that if I do fail to knock him out, I would last 6 rounds to or 8 rounds to win on points. So I saw the opportunity to get the knockout and I connected with a left hook and he was gone on the ropes and then I knew he was finished. So I just jumped him and the ref stopped the fight.
Your fight, long fights versus Mduduzi Moyo test conditioning, patience, and mental strength. Not every victory comes quickly. Do you enjoy longer tactical fights or explosive short fights more?
To me, it doesn't matter. That was my first time going 10 rounds with Moyo after the Jackson fight. And it was because I was asked to, if I'm being honest. They told me, you want a title fight next, you need to last. Let's test you and see. Go there, be patient. Don't try and knock this guy out. And there were times where I wobbled this guy and he was all over, but they kept saying, stay patient, stay patient. We went full 10 rounds on purpose because we were preparing for a tougher test next. So I think every fighter needs to have that, to the will to go the distance and the instinct to know, okay, I can knock him now. So I think it's two qualities that every fighter needs to have because we see it even in top level boxing. Sometimes you fail to knock a guy out and you don't have a game plan. I always make sure I have a game plan for everything. A knockout comes, I take it. You go on point, I take it.
Absolutely. Your level is high, high level, because winning a 10-round fight is an important moment for any boxer because it proves endurance and maturity. Did that fight make you feel ready for high level opponents?
Definitely. After we win the 10 round fight, we plan on fighting another 10 round for WBF. And the opponent was very tough. Also, never stopped before in 20 fights. So we knew he had a chance to take us in the deep water. So after winning the 10 rounds, very easy. I was not tired. I knew that I could press this guy in my next fight and would win.
And at this stage of your career, your knockout victories started becoming more frequent. Fans love fighters who can finish fights dramatically. Your fight versus Jimmy Mabunji. Do knockouts excite you personally, or do you stay emotionally calm during fights?
With that fight, I knew that. So he retired in the corner because he was just getting beaten for 5 rounds, and I could see his body language was changing. He was fading, and every round I was telling my team, "It is last round. It is last round. It is last round." And round four finished, and he couldn't get back up, and I was like, "Okay." I just laughed. I was excited because it was my first belt in boxing. It was obviously an emotional moment, but I was not too excited about my power because I knew I had power. I was in a gym full of Congolese guys, big guys with power, and we were sparring, and they don't know how to spar technical. Everything is just big. So I knew I could take and I knew I could give. So I was not too phased about the power.
Do you think your opponents fear your power now?
Now, yes. I think now guys are avoiding me because they've either felt or heard somewhere that I can punch, and it shows on my record. 7 stoppages out of 12 wins. It shows you have some power. And the long distance fight came early in my career, so now guys can see, and I'm growing into the sport. The power is getting more and more. So now the guys, they're a bit skeptical about fighting. Does this guy hit hard? And it's something to question. I'm not saying I'm a very, very heavy puncher, but I know that I've got enough power to be respected.
White versus Blessed Tagverei. Momentum is extremely important in professional boxing. Consecutive victories create confidence and energy around a fighter. Did you feel unstoppable during this winning streak?
Uh, I would say I felt unstoppable. I felt happy with myself. I knew I was doing something right. And I knew that now more people are believing in me, family, because I left my job. And you sound crazy because, yeah, why are you leaving your job? It's hard to find a job. You get a job out of school, and you're leaving your job for something that is not promised, and now you lost. And so after getting these wins, I was more satisfied with myself that I'm getting the wins, um and that I made the right choice.
Quick stoppage wins often come from perfect preparation and focus. How important is preparation for achieving dominant victories? Tell me please about your preparation training camp.
Yeah, it's a lot of discipline, for preparation for a fight. It's not easy. There's a lot of things you don't get to do places you don't get to go, food you don't get to eat, moment you don't get to witness because you are just locked in, you are focused. And that's what makes the two fighters in a ring different, is that maybe I was doing something you was not doing. Maybe I stopped eating dirty food or drinking soda or sleeping late, and you were maybe training hard but you were sleeping less or something, or I was staying away from my family or something. So it's a lot. It's preparation is not easy. It's very hard. 8 weeks of intense training and focus and discipline, and just be ready to miss out on moments, man.
First fight versus Nicolas Kasongo Nzangu. Your first fight ended with a split decision of the judges. Split decision. What did you learn about Nicolas Kasongo after the first fight?
Nicholas was a very experienced guy. Obviously, on paper, he was 2-0, but he was very experienced. He was fighting in the Congo, and Congo didn't have box rec to record the fights. But he was experienced. He's been fighting for a long time, and I had just changed teams. So I just joined the new team. The training was different. I was still adapting to the new team, the game plan and everything. And I just thought that I could just beat this guy and jump onto the next fight. And it was different. I had to stack up the rounds in the last minute. So I just learned that never to underestimate an opponent. When you get in there, the record could be 1-0, 2-0, 100-0, but they all equal. When you're in there, he's trying to win, and you have to win. So that's what that fight taught me, to not underestimate anyone and take everyone serious, irrespective of their skills and or record. You have to take everyone serious and prepare equally for everyone.
Winning by decision shows patience and ring control, not just aggression. Do you enjoy do you enjoy technical boxing battles?
Mm, I'm a technical fighter myself, so technical fight is a bit boring for me. I'm not gonna lie. I like a fighter that comes to fight me. And if you are coming to fight me, it allows me to beat you properly if you are coming to fight me. But if you know I'm coming to fight you, you run and the fight become I don't like a boring fight. I like a hot fight. But I like you to put the pressure. But now it's a bit different. In the last year or two, I've fixed that. I've learned that you will fight how I want you to fight. Before, I just used to wait and be like, okay, he's coming or he's not coming. But now it's different. Back then, technical fight is good, but it was a bit boring because I want someone to come and knock me out. That's when I feel I'm at my best, when someone is trying to kill me.
Your fight versus Chikondi Makawa. This victory was another statement performance from you. Knockouts creates excitement and build momentum toward championship opportunities. Tell me please about this knockout. How did you do such a brilliant knockout?
Yeah, again, it was a fight where I had something to prove. Like I said, the fight with Nicholas was my first fight with the new team, and it didn't go well because it was like, how did you not stop this guy? And how did you win on split decision? So I was like, okay, there was a few mistakes, I'll fix that. And they gave me another experienced guy who had, I think, 33 fights, and he was only stopped once. So again, I had something to prove. So I said, I'm not only going to win, I'm going to stop him. and I know his experience. He's probably can take punches to the head, so I have to go down to the body or do something. So I came with a game plan and I executed, and I did exactly what I wanted to do.
A second round knockout is always impressive for fans and dangerous for opponents. Do you study opponents carefully before fights or trust your instincts more?
Um, so I had some footages to look at with this guy. Normally, I don't care how this guy is, how he boxes. Maybe if I watch his for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and I'll know, okay, this is how he boxes. So with this Chikondi, I got to watch him once in person. He was fighting in South Africa team, and then I remembered, oh, this is the guy that fought Imani. I know him. I know how he boxes. So it was easy for me because I know who I was fighting. And he had the style that I like. Come forward, want to fight, and it was easy for me. When you just want to come, I will just give, and I don't get tired of giving.
Fight versus Shadiri Musa Bwogi. Loss. After a long winning streak, suffering another defeat can be emotionally difficult, but losses often teach lessons victories never can. Uh, Unfortunately, the judges saw the victory of your opponent. What do you think about the work of the judges in this fight?
I think it was a lot of robbery in the fight, because I dropped this guy twice, two times, and they ruled it a slip. And I slipped because it was Southpaw versus Orthodox. There was clash of legs all the time. And when I slipped, and ref called it a knockdown, so that put me off a bit. And I was not 100% in that fight. I was not 100%, and I lost on split decision. I didn't take it on hard on myself because it was like, okay, you win and you lose. And he was a very good fighter, very good. He fought Russians. He's been to IBA Olympics, and so he was a very good guy. And I know I gave him a very tough fight.
Who, who, who puts judges on such important fights? Why did they count so badly? Bad decision. Because you won.
Look, judges, there's three judges, in a fight, and they all looking for different things. Some judges enjoy fighters that fight and on the back foot. Some judges like a fighter that comes forward. You could be punching 20, 30 punches around and moving back, and I could be punching three, four, five punches around, and I'll win because I'm just going forward. So judges look for different things, and I guess the judge that gave him looked at and liked his style more and thought he was winning. So I don't know. That's why I try my best to not leave it to the judge's hands because anything can happen. Once it goes to the judges, there is no guarantee that you took the fight.
Absolutely. What did you learn from the defeat against Shadiri Musa Bwogi?
Yeah, I learned that you have to stay busy all the time. At any point in a fight, should you switch off and say, okay, let me take a breath? Because 10 seconds, 15 seconds of dominance can decide around, And I felt like I had a lot of those moments where I was just taking pauses when I should have just put my foot on the gas. But yeah, you learn and you keep going.
How difficult was it mentally to go through a championship level defeat?
it wasn't too difficult for me, because I understand life, I understand life, that you win and you lose in life, not only in boxing. And losses teach you more than wins can, you know what I'm saying? You go home, you humble yourself, you break yourself down, you rebuild yourself. Myself, we lost, we'll come back.
A lot of judges broke the careers of boxers when they were simply robbed in battles, and no one does anything about it, unfortunately. By the way, do you want the rematch?
I would love the rematch. I ask him, we speak on Instagram. Sometimes he comments on my stuff and congratulates me after I win. So I ask him, let's do it. I can come to you for your defense. He has not defended the belt, not once. So I told him, you won a belt now. Why you don't defend it? So you can defend. I can come there. You can come here. Let's do it again. But he doesn't want to fight again. So I accepted. He agreed asking him for the rematch. So
You didn't break down, and that's the main thing. And coming back strong after defeat is what separates good fighters from champions. You are a real champion. Your
thank you.
response after losing was powerful. Second fight versus Niklas Kassongon Zangu. Did you enter this fight with extra motivation after your previous loss?
Yeah. So going into that fight, I knew I was going for two things: to avenge my poor performance, and I needed to prove that I'm still around. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. So I had every motivation behind this fight. I knew I could beat the guy. It was not a thing of this guy is unbeatable. I need to beat him. I knew he was not a big problem. He was a very small problem, but it was good that the fight happened because the first one was not convincing, was not great for me, was not good for my record. So I needed to fix that.
You stopped your opponent this time instead of winning on points. That showed evolution and aggression. Did you want to make a statement in the rematch?
Yes. He had a lot of things to say after the first fight. So going to this fight, I wanted to give him no excuse after the fight, because the first time he said, "Oh no, I fight on your promotion, your team, they robbed me. It's what split decision I should have won." So the second one, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna leave it to my team. I'm not gonna leave it to the judge. I'm going to knock you out. And I said it when we got the fight. I was saying it. Come with whatever you can come with. I will knock you out. And I went and I did that because I knew he was not on my level.
Your fight versus Azizi Mponda. At this point, you already looked like a fighter with world level confidence and experience. Fans can clearly see your evolution. Do you believe you are entering your prime right now?
Yes. I think I'm more hungry now and I want the tests now. I want everyone that thinks they can beat me to say, let's make it happen. I feel like I'm in my prime and I've got the right people, you know. Mentally, I'm fine. And I think this is the time.
You did a great job. Well done. Training camps before huge fights are extremely intense. Fighters push themselves mentally and physically beyond their limits. Champions are created during those painful training sessions when nobody is watching. How difficult
Yeah.
was your preparation for the championship fight?
Um, after Azizi, my fight with Azizi, it was on paper it looks hard because of his record, and he fought a former world champion. And there was a lot of things going around that this guy is like this. But when I looked at him and I sized him, I knew this one he's not going to last too long. So I was confident, and I think I was not in a place where I could just be in there with anyone. I could be in there with a champion that night, and I was going to give them a problem. And even now, my mindset is different now. It's like, put me in there with anyone, they are going to have a problem.
It's a great honor for me to communicate with the world champion. You wrote your name in the history. Boxing
Thank you, man.
is not only physical, it's also a mental battle.
Yes, sir.
Psychologist games. Fighters need confidence, focus, and emotional control before stepping into the ring. Sometimes mentality wins fights before the first punch is thrown. How do you stay mentally strong before big fights?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, but you look at the sacrifices you've made so far. You look at the sacrifices you are making in camp, staying away from family, friends, missing out on fun nights and fun days, the pain you're putting your body through, all that just, it kind of takes off the mental pressure, because I also believe that if you know that you are training hard, you will be less under pressure going into the fight, because okay, I'm doing everything that I needed to do. But again, outside the ring, like you said, there's a lot of mental pressure, that a lot of people don't see. You need to survive on a daily basis. You need to sort out bills and stuff. And at the same time, you are chasing this dream of becoming a champion. And that requires you to be in the gym every day, twice, three times a day, and you can't mix the two. So sometimes people don't see that. They just see, oh, this boy looks good in the ring and he can box, but they don't see what's behind the scenes. And that's what I ask for people always, like, you will never understand boxing until you are inside.
Knockout power is something boxing fans always love to watch. Your record shows that you can finish fights in spectacular fashion. Power combined with timing is a dangerous weapon. You have a strong blow. Do you believe knockout power is natural or developed through training?
Mm, I think everyone can punch hard. I I don't think it's natural. If it was natural, I would have had knockout from my debut fight. I only started having knockouts after three, four fights. So I started training differently and doing certain things differently. I think power can be developed in the boxing. Some is natural. I think some people have natural power, and not everybody. So I can't speak for everyone, but from my experience, you can develop power as you grow into the sport, and depending on the exercise you are doing, your preparation for the fight.
Many fans admire your discipline and dedication to boxing. Success at the highest level requires consistency every single day. Champions are built through habits, not motivation alone. What does discipline mean to you personally?
Mhm. Discipline to me has been always doing things that you don't have to do. You know, it's cold, you don't have to wake up in the morning to run, you don't have to get punched in the head in sparring, you don't have to do strength and conditioning, you don't have to eat clean food, you don't have to cut off soda and stay away from your family, but you do it because you've committed your life to this thing. So to me, discipline is doing what you hate doing, but doing it like you are forced to do it.
Your faith is clearly an important part of your life. Many fighters rely on belief and spirituality during difficult moments in their careers. Faith can give strength when everything becomes difficult. How important is God and faith in your boxing journey?
It- it's been very important to me. You know, it's been number one. It's been the key because I understood that sometimes it's not just a physical battle that we go in the ring and fight. A lot of these fighters do things, you know, they don't come just physically, they come with other spiritual things as well. And we just pray for protection. And aside from that, we also pray that for safety, you know, that we are both protected and who me and the opponent can just go home safe and go back to our normal lives and our families after the fight. It's nothing personal, you know, and just pray for strength to get through camp. And it's been very, God has been a big part of my career because the opportunities that came my way, sometimes you would like, "Ah, maybe I didn't deserve this." And it came. So, yeah, always number one.
Fans love seeing champions perform under pressure. Big fights create unforgettable moments and reveal true character inside the ring. Pressure can either break a fighter or create greatness. Do you enjoy fighting under pressure?
Yeah. I love pressure. Like I told you earlier, I like a guy that comes to kill me. I like pressure. I just love pressure. If it has pressure in it, give it to me. I like it. So I don't enjoy it because it's not a good place to be in, but when it's there, I embrace it. I can deal with it.
The super middleweight division has always been filled with talented and dangerous fighters. Christian Billy, Diego Pacheco, Hamza Shiraz, Canelo Alvarez, Osleis Iglesias, William School, and many others. Competing in such a strong division requires confidence and elite level skills. What do you love most about fighting in the super middleweight division?
Like you said, it's exciting. I love the excitement it comes with. You know, it comes with different styles of boxing. You mentioned Cubans, Mexicans, Americans. These are countries with top level boxing. You know, you get David Morrell, who's extremely good. David Benavides was there. Canelo, Mexican style. Then, like, you get different mix kind of styles, and that's what I love. You know, I love to fight all kinds of styles, and yeah, it's an exciting division, and I'd love to be in the top level and mix with these guys. You know.
Every world champion has inspiration behind their success. Sometimes it comes from family, legends of the sport, or difficult life experience. Inspiration often becomes fuel for greatness. Who inspired you the most growing up?
I was not a big fan of boxing. I never used to watch boxing growing up, and so I never really had inspiration. One day I just followed someone to the gym, and I was like, ah, I can do this. This is very easy. And I just put the glove and punch the bag, and that's it. And then I jump in the ring, and then I put my heavy, and we spar, and we fight. Instead of fighting in the street, I just fight here. And then, yeah, I never really had inspiration. Well, be it family, be it or watching a champion, or it was just like boxing just got me off guard. I did not plan to box. It was just like I was just walking one day and I just started boxing.
Fans only see the final performance on fight night, but they rarely understand the sacrifices fighters make daily. Boxing demands total commitment. What sacrifices did you make to become world champion?
Leaving my job and moving out of the house because I wanted to be uncomfortable. And I understood that boxing is a very uncomfortable sport. You can't do anything, or you can't go far if you're comfortable. I just put myself in a position where I was uncomfortable, and that made me hungry to make it. And I'm still I'm still on that journey. I still need to make it. I still need to do big things.
When did you realize you could become one of the best fighters in the world?
Probably just recently, man. Not gonna lie, just recently I think I've just been boxing to to make myself feel good about quitting my job and whatever. But like when I took it serious and was like, okay, I could do something and go far. It was just probably last year or late 2024.
And in the final part of our interview, I wanna talking about your future. Jason, now we have talked about your journey, your victories, the difficult moments, and becoming a world champion. But boxing never stops, and true champions are always thinking about the next challenge. Fans around the world are excited to know what comes next for you because the super middleweight division is full of massive names and dangerous fighters. So now let's talk about your future. Right now, there are many elite fighters in the super middleweight division. One name that fans constantly talk about is Christian Billy because of his aggressive style and power. A fight like that would
Yeah.
definitely excite boxing fans worldwide. Would you like to fight Christian Billy in the future?
I would like to fight anyone. And amongst the top five super middleweights now, probably even top 10, I think Mbili, he's the easiest fighter to beat because he just focuses on offense. I've watched some of his fights where he could have won and he was getting beaten and wobble, and because he just focuses on offense. I think going into the ring, you need to just not think that you are in there alone and you are just going to punch a bag. You know, I think in the top 10 super middleweights now, Mbili's he's one of the easiest fighters to beat because of his style. I like the aggressive style because you will just make yourself look stupid trying to take someone's head off all the time. He doesn't know how to box. Personally, that's what I think. I think he's very strong. Like his nickname, Solid. I think he's very solid. He's strong and he carries a lot of power and aggression. But if he can't get to you to land those punches and do what he needs to do, then he's in big trouble. You know, we saw that his last draw, he could have beaten Leicester, but he couldn't because Leicester's a boxer. And also, Leicester took everything that Billy had to give him, and he was still standing. And usually, power punches don't like their powers to be taken. It's always, if I hit you, you must go. And sometimes when they hit you and you're not going anywhere, and then it's like a punch is going back at them. When they punch you, it hits them back. So I think Billy is a great fight for me. I would love to fight these guys. Like I said, God willing, I get to this top level boxing and get to mix with these guys. But in the top 10, I think he'll be one of my easiest fight. As much as people mention how hard he hits and how dangerous he is, I don't think he's dangerous. Even fighting Canelo, I don't think he's going to beat Canelo because Canelo is very smart. And Billy's power is not so intimidating, it's not scary power.
Do you believe you could one day share the ring with Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, man. Maybe in the next 3 years, 4 years. It's a boxing is a patient journey. You don't rush. So I think I still have a long, long way to go to get there. But with the right team and the right fights, you can get there. I think if he is planning on fighting 5, 6 more years, I think I can get him. And it will be better because he will be old.
In my opinion, Hamza Sharaf, Hamza Sharaz is pulling Turkey Al Sheikh years. Hamza Sharaz, how do you see a fight between you and Hamza Sharaz?
Yeah, I think he's one of the best now. Hands down, I think he's very calm in the ring and he carries good power and good skills and he's very patient. I think he's one of the most dangerous fighters now in the super middleweight division, and I think he can give anyone, anybody a problem and he can beat anyone, you know. But again, I don't shy away from anyone. If the fight happens, it happens, man. I will train like I'm going to fight Hamza Shiraz. That means I will not train easy. He will look at me and be, I'm maybe some kid from Africa just coming to cash out. But no, I'm gonna come there to win, and I'll give everything to win. And he's not going to have an easy night.
Jason, thank you so much for this powerful and honest interview. We truly appreciate your time, your energy,
Thank you.
and the inspiration you gave to boxing fans around the world. We wish you even more victories, bigger fights, and confident
Thank you.
success on your journey to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, today our guest was World Boxing Federation champion, super middleweight warrior, knockout artist, and one of the rising names in world boxing, Jason Medi. The journey continues and the world is watching. And my final question,
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
what is your biggest dream in boxing?
Biggest dream is to hold one of the five belts or all of the five belt sanctioning bodies, WBA, WBO, IBF, and Ring Magazine and the WBC. That is one of my dreams, to use that as an opportunity to make big money and be generationally rich. That is my goal.
Goodbye, my friend. and good luck. You are the future of
Thank
boxing.
you. Thank you so much.